various cities in China. So this says 和我一起去中国旅游. Okay, let's do that like one bit at a time. Okay, so first 和我一起. Yep. 去中国旅行. Okay, so first just a little bit about me. My name is Daniel Liu, and in Chinese that's Lu Rin Hao. So over the years I've traveled a lot to China like before COVID. So this is a big list of places I've been to. It's kind of long, we're not going to be talking about all that. But I've been to a few camps before in China. So for example, this picture, I went to, this is in the northwest of China. It's a place called Yinchuan. And this is me and my friends in the desert. And up here, that's me in the mountains of Xi'an, in a nature preserve. Okay, so this is the map of China. So, 中国地图. Can you say that? Yep, so 地图 means map. So officially, when you say 中国, the official name of China is 中华人民共和国. And it's 36 million square miles. Can anyone guess how to say that in Chinese? That's a big number. Anyone?
I think it's too hard.
Well, in Chinese it's 360万. It's kind of too big. And then the population is 1.4 billion people. Anyone want to guess that? No? Yeah. So 1.4 billion is 14亿. So those are like very, very big numbers. Like you can't imagine how big it is. So,
there's no larger population in the world.
Yeah.
India is the next. Although in the future it may become the first.
So just like America, China is divided into different provinces. Provinces are like our states. There's 22 provinces, 5 autonomous regions in like the outer regions, and then 4 municipalities. Chongqing, Beijing, Shanghai, and Tianjin. Those are like the biggest, most important cities. So they're like directly controlled by the government, kind of like Washington DC. But they're like separate. They're not in a state. And then there's 2 special administrative regions, which are Hong Kong and Macau. So just before we move on to the cities, you have pieces of paper in front of you. So we're going to have a little quiz at the end. So feel free to like take notes so that you can answer the questions at the end. So when you're traveling in China, you'll want to be able to like talk with people, right? So here's just some useful words and phrases that you might be able to use when you're talking with people in China. So our first vocabulary words are 美食. Yep, and that means delicious cuisine. The next one is 护照. Yep, that's the passport you use. You have to have a passport to go into China. And the last one is 旅游. Yep, and that's tourism. So here on the right, there's some useful phrases that you can use when you're talking to people. The first one is 这是什么? Yep, and that means what is this? So for example, if you walk into a store in China and you see something that you've never seen before, you can ask them, what is this? Or 这是什么? So does any 2 volunteers want to come up, try having a conversation using that? Not everyone.
There is a seat in the front. But she wanted to sit in the front. It's not gonna. She's not gonna be able to see it in there. Oh, okay.
你这个是在前面。
So just turn to the person next to you and then try using 这是什么 in a sentence. Everyone good? Everyone good to move on to the next phrase? Yeah. So the next phrase is 有没有? Yeah, and that means do you have. So say you walk into a restaurant and you want to eat some dumplings. You can say 有没有饺子? Okay, so you want to turn and talk again?
Alright.
You can ask for anything.
That sound.
The frick? What? Totally works. Totally works. You want me to delete your Who said no?
Like, you know, like say, dumplings
Somewhere at the bottom.
Okay, I think we're all good, so we can go into the next phrase now. So this one is 我想去. So, is there any city that any of you want to go to in China? Or like any place at all that you want to go to? Anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What? Fuzhou.
Yeah. And so,
So then you can say 我想去福州. Right? It's in China. Yeah, we you actually say the place that you're asking first. So in English you say where is something, but in China you ask something 在哪里. So say I want to know where is the Great Wall of China. So I can say 长城在哪里. Right? So just practice real quick. Any place you want to know where it is. You say the place you want to know, and then 在哪里. Yeah.
Where did they say that?
Well, they use interchangeably.
Oh,
What is formal? I'm asking formal.
oh, which one is formal?
This one.
Nani is formal. Now ours is informal.
Alright, everyone knows. Okay, so now we're in the first city we're going to is Beijing. So you probably all heard of Beijing. It's the capital of China. So a fact about Beijing is that it's the only city that's hosted both the summer and the winter Olympics in the same city.
Daniel, can you show everyone what's in the picture? The blue light structure?
So this structure there, that's the Olympic Stadium built in was 2008.
Yeah, it's on it.
So this is built for the 2008 Summer Olympics. It's a sports stadium, but you can see it has a very unique design. It kind of looks like people call it the bird's nest, 鸟巢, because I don't know if you can see it, but the side, the walls, they're like little. They look like little twigs that are woven together, so they call it the bird's nest.
It's the one.
So first we're going to talk about food. So you might notice up here, this 美食 we talked about before. That's one of our important vocabulary words. So you might have tried or seen the Beijing duck. It's called 北京烤鸭. So Beijing duck is a special way to make duck that's unique to Beijing. So it's been made for over 1,000 years and it's well known for its crispy skin. You can kind of see there it's like cooked to perfection. And they don't just eat it normally. They like cut up small slices of the duck and then they wrap it in these very thin pancakes that they're kind of like they're like a silk fabric. They're very thin and like almost see-through. And then they dip the duck slices in black bean sauce and roll it up with cucumbers in the pan. So kind of like a duck burrito. So you might not have heard about this before. Kind of looks like lollipops, right? So these are called sugar-coated hallberries, and they're called in Chinese 冰糖葫芦. Yep. So they might look like candy, but they're actually like different fruits that are coated in hard sugar. And normally they're made with hallberries, which are these round berries they grow in China. But they can be made with other stuff. And they're called hulu in Chinese because the shape of the candies after they've been dipped kind of looks like a gourd called hulu. So next we're going to talk about attractions in Beijing. So 北京的旅游景点. So you can see 旅游 means tourism in there. So that's one of our other vocabulary words. So I know that all of you definitely know about the Great Wall of China. It's one of the most famous attractions in all of China. And it's very easy to say. It's just 长城. Yep.
Chris, what does top mean? There you go.
So it's over 13,000 miles long, and it was built like thousands of years ago to protect from invaders. So this right here is an old Chinese saying. So you want to say 吴道长城 Beijing used to be an imperial capital of China, so there's lots of like sites left over from that time. It was built for the emperor in 1179, and parts of the park were built to imitate other like places in China. So our next city is Shanghai. Yeah, can you hear? Shanghai. Yep, and it just means, it literally means above the sea. And the fun fact about Shanghai is that it's the most populous city in the entire world. 24 million people live in this city. So some food in Shanghai. You might have seen this before, xiaolongbao. Can you try saying that? Yeah, they're soup dumplings. Has anyone had that before? Yeah. Yeah, so they're basically dumplings, but they're full of soup. And they're steamed in a small basket, which is called a long. That's why they're called xiaolongbao, because they're steamed in the xiaolong. And then next, you might not know about this, it's a steamed crab. So it's da zha xia. Oh, the da zha xia, yeah. And it's called the Chinese mitten crab because you can see, it's kind of blurry, but on the claws you can see it actually has hair. But you don't eat those, so you'll be fine. So the authentic ones are only produced from one lake in all of China, which makes them very rare and expensive. So it's a very sought after delicacy, and in recent years the price has gone even further. So you can see here the inside, this yellow stuff. What does it look like? Like, what do you think it is? Guesses? Yeah, it is egg. So the crab eggs, they're not only used while eating the crab, but they also used to season other foods. So they can be put into the xiaolongbao, and they're seasoned with crab meat. So some attractions in Shanghai. So the biggest, most iconic landmark in Shanghai is the Oriental Pearl Tower. Has anyone seen that before? You can see it's a very special looking building. You see all those spheres that they get up. It's called Dongfang Mingzhu Ta. I'll say it. Dongfang. Yeah, that means Easter. And then Mingzhu Ta. Yeah, and that means Pearl Tower. So it's made up of 11 spheres linked by columns. It's not like a normal skyscraper. And you can see it lights up every night with the different colors. So anyone want to guess how tall this tower is? How tall does it look to you?
A mile.
Okay. Any other guesses? Wild guess, like random, any guess.
3,000 feet? 3.
200 meters.
Okay, well this is what it looks like from the top. So, any guesses now?
A mile high.
1,000 feet?
5,000 meters.
Cars, too.
Okay, we have a mile high, 2.5 miles high, 1,000 feet high, and then 3 feet high. See which one's closest. And then one place I would recommend in Shanghai, because I've been there many times, is the Shanghai Museum. It's just called Shanghai Boulevard.
What's in there?
So it's just a collection of ancient Chinese art from thousands of years ago. And it's one of the largest ancient art collections in China with over 120,000 pieces. It's very interesting. And then our third city is Xi'an. So, if you were here last week, you might remember Xi'an. The class last week was taught, the story was taking place in Xi'an. So you might remember that it actually used to be called Chang'an. Does anyone remember what Chang'an means? Oh, it means long peace. Yeah, and it was the capital for like, thousands of years. Okay, so now for food in Siena. So those might look like normal noodles. They have a funny name. They're called biang noodles. And you might notice that there's no Chinese next to it like there is here, or in any of the other ones, and there's a reason for that, and I'll get to that. So they're just very thick, like handmade noodles, they're like a bell, and they're called biang because it's the sound they make when the chef is making the noodles. It's the sound that it makes, and a well-made biang noodle, especially in China, it'll be just one very long noodle. So say in that bowl, that's only one noodle, but it's just wrapped around so many times to fill it. You just eat it.
Counting all pieces.
Okay, so I don't know if you've heard of this before, but the character for biang is the most complicated character in the entire language. So this is what it looks like.
Can you give everyone a little bit of time to try?
Yeah.
To write it on your paper?
Does anyone want to, or you should all just give it a try. This one is this is the simplified one. This is the traditional one, and then these are all there's like I think 22 different ways to write it. But this is the most common. You want to try it? Give it a try. Alright, so for those of you who are done, do you see any like characters you recognize inside of that? Okay, which ones? Yep. Yep. Ma. Any others? There's one character we saw before earlier in the presentation. Yep, someone. Who said it?
Yeah, where is it?
Yep, that's right. And then there's one more that you'll probably recognize. It's a bit squished. Where?
Very good.
Okay, we ready to go to the next slide?
Yeah.
Or,
Okay.
I'll write it here so you can copy it down.
It's going to take a while to write.
No, I can write it fast.
Oh, you forgot about the hamburger. What? You didn't talk about the hamburger.
So I know you've all heard about the American hamburger before, but this is the Chinese hamburger. It's a marinated meat in a baked bun called jiang. So it's a popular street food, and it's just pork that's been marinated in 20 spices for many hours to give it a very strong flavor, and it's just stuffed in flatbread and eaten like a sandwich, which is why it's called Chinese hamburger. So, how many of you have heard of the Terracotta Warriors before? Yep. It's another very popular tourist attraction in China. So they're called the Bing Ma Yo.
I know, but the giant
giant wild goose pagoda, and it's called Da Yin Ta. Yeah. So there's actually a smaller one that looks the exact same, but it's just shorter, and it's called Xiao Yan Ta. So it's a Buddhist pagoda built like 1400 years ago. And it's been renovated many times over the past thousands of years. And it stands at 7 stories and 210 feet. So just for comparison, the Oriental Pearl Tower is 468 meters tall, compared to this 210 feet. So, Suzhou, everyone, Suzhou. So, Suzhou has been known as the Venice of the East because of its many canals and rivers. Do you know where Venice is? It's also known for its canals and rivers. So, Suzhou isn't here on the map, but it's to the west of Shanghai. So here's the you might have heard of Dongpo pork, which is Dongpo roll. Yeah. So it has a very interesting story behind it. So it was invented by Su Dongpo. He was a famous Chinese writer and politician around the year 1000. So it's a braised pork that's then stewed for a very long time. So the story of how it was invented was, so Su Dongpo, once he was making a traditional stewed pork, but then when he was making it, his friends called him to go play chess. So then they sat down and had a chess game, and so he forgot about it, so he just left it stewing there for hours. And then he only remembered it when he smelled the scent of the pork coming from the other room. And then after he tasted the over-stewed pork, he then discovered that it tasted very good. So then everyone named it after him because he invented that process. So because it's stewed for that long, it has a very rich flavor that's been stewed into the pork. And then, have you seen these before? Or have you heard of normal mooncakes?
Yes.
Yeah. So normally mooncakes are made with lotus seed paste or red bean paste, but in Suzhou there's a special variety called Su Si Rie Bi. Again, Su Si Rie Bi. So that just means Suzhou style mooncakes.
Okay.
So as you can see, there's lots of beautiful attractions in Suzhou. So it's known for its many classical Chinese gardens, and there's like hundreds of them all in the city, and they're called Suzhou Rianli. So they're not just from a single time period, they've been built up over thousands of years, and they're the greatest examples of Chinese garden design. So these are some essential parts of a Chinese garden. So you can see bridges, rock garden, pavilion, gates, and flowers and trees. So there's all these things because the rock gardens were meant to imitate life, or the landscapes that you can see in your everyday life. So the rock gardens were representing mountains. There was water, like usually lakes, to represent the oceans, and then the pavilions were to represent people, cities, that stuff, and then the flowers were just nature. So these were all essential parts in every Chinese garden. So next, there's the Grand Canal, which is the longest canal in the world, and construction began in 500 BC, and it continued to be expanded for thousands of years. So it's called Da Yun He. And even though it was built over 2,000 years ago, there's parts of it that are still being used today. So next we'll talk about Chengdu. Chengdu. Yeah. So just like Xi'an, Chengdu has been an important city for thousands of years. And it was actually the first city in the world to use paper money during the Northern Song Dynasty. So Chengdu, the food is, it's part of Sichuan cuisine because Chengdu is the capital of Sichuan province. And it's really known for being extremely spicy. So there's a word called ma la, which it's so spicy that it's numb. Like you can't feel your tongue anymore. So most of the food here in Chengdu will be extremely spicy. So does anyone like Kung Pao chicken? Okay, so Kung Pao chicken in Chinese is Gong Bao Ji. So they're just stir-fried chicken with chili peppers and seasoned with and you've probably seen it before because it's a well-known food in America as well. It's been brought over here and it's very popular. Has anyone had hot pot before? Yeah. So you might know it's just a Chinese style of cooking food where there's a big pot of boiling water in the center of the table and then the ingredients are put directly in there and then you take it out and eat directly. So there's many styles all around China, but in Sichuan, the soup is always very, very spicy, so the food will also be very, very spicy. And the reason why people eat all the spice in Sichuan is because it helps people cool off, because it's very humid in the south of China. So some attractions in Chengdu are pandas. We all love pandas. So 80% of wild pandas live in Sichuan province. So it's like so they established a base here to research pandas, and it means research on the conservation of giant pandas. So that's a very long name. You don't have to read that, but just we need to learn how to say panda. Does anyone know how to read the underlined? Yep. Da Xiong Mao. That's how you say it. Da Xiong Mao. And then the second attraction is Mao Mei. So in Chinese it's Mei Shan. Yeah. So it's considered the holy mountain for Buddhism. You can see all the Buddhist temples built on the summit. So it's not pictured here, but there's a very impressive, like very large rock carving of the Buddha carved into the side of the mountain. And it's also known for its very diverse wildlife and vegetation, like these monkeys. So a funny story about the monkeys is that they're very smart, but they're not very nice. So they form gangs, and they will or not attack. They'll just steal your things. So they'll take your bags and then like throw them into trees. So watch out for the monkeys if you ever go there.
Is there something kind of like
So this activity is you're going to use that and then pair it with the picture if you remember what that's called. So does anyone know what the first thing is? So you can ask 这是什么? And then we'll have two people come up and then one person asks 这是什么? And then the other person responds with that. Any volunteers to come up and do this? Okay. Yeah, you can just stand up. Any volunteers?
She volunteered, right? She volunteered. 你可以帮她一下。You can ask
Okay, you can just tell someone.
and he'll answer.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Okay, and then the next person you can ask. This is just one person. You ask that, and then, or do you have that in Chinese? Anyone remember how to say this in Chinese? Okay. It's called 小笼包. Okay, so can anyone say, do you have those? Yeah. want to go to Chengdu, the city. Anyone? I want to go to Chengdu. Okay.
我想去成都。
And then last, one of the students can answer this. Okay, where is the Great Wall? Anyone remember how to say the Great Wall? Okay.
Very good.
Okay, so now we're handing out passports. So this is the quiz. So you can like flip through it and see. So is everyone's done answering? Anyone need more time? You can work with the person next to you.
Are you really cheating on this girl?
You said it.
You can, if you want to. But
Okay, what about in Suzo Garden?
Normal.
It's with the canal.
okay, I'm just gonna start going through this. So the first one is drawing the bean-top balloon, so that's you just do it yourself. And then the second one, this one's kind of difficult. I only said it once. Okay. So yeah, yep, that's right.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna let you to choose the gift. This is Jenny.
Well, I'm just. That was kind of difficult. So now that you know it's 468 meters, whoever can say 468 in Chinese gets a prize too. Yeah, you said it first. Okay, so now the next one is very difficult. So does anyone want to go right down on the board?
We'll give everyone a chance, okay? So who else wanted to try? What's your name?
Natalie.
Natalie.
You're gonna be next.
Wait, right around the board?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that next. Okay, so while she's doing that, does anyone know the answer to the Suzhou question?
Yes.
Yeah, what's what? Yeah, that's right. Okay, and then the last question, does anyone know the answer for that? So who's the last one? Well, what's Sichuan cuisine known for?
How did she write? Very good. Let's give her a lipstick. That's lipstick.
So it's chopsticks.
What is that? Lipstick.
It's印章，
Alright.
是印章。
Okay, so no one knows the answer for the twin peak?
The movie.
Oh, yeah.
Very good. So everyone, if you wanna, when you finish your program, you can have Daniel to stamp your passport, and then you're allowed to go to China. Oh, here's the special gift for Sichuan question. Here.
You done?
Oh, I see. Daniel, do you want to answer?
Okay, well, thanks for coming today. That's the end of the presentation.
Thank you.